Welcome to Bear Pan Lodge and the humble galley that I have to work in. And today I'm going to bring you, by request, a couple of recipes for a very humble part of a pig, which is the pig's feet. Often called, in Europe, pig's trotters. Well, these recipes, this is eaten around the world. So the first recipe, well, one of the two recipes, is from the UK, and it's pig's trotters, pickled pig's trotters actually, and no self-respecting pub back about 50, 60, WW2 era, something like that, would be seen without, they would lose their reputation if they didn't have a jar of these pickled on their bar. And the other recipe, that particular recipe, I learned actually from my grandfather in his commercial kitchen, where they would prep foods for a corner store and things like that. Foods such as pickled eggs, pickled anything really, pickled beets, and and also made head cheese and all that sort of stuff. Well, I was mesmerized by the entire process, so I kind of snuck in and got the secrets of these pretty early in my life. Then a little later, I came across a fabulous recipe, this one out of China. In actual fact, I think it probably started in Manchuria, because a dear relative who's passed some years ago, and 100 years ago, probably got this recipe from Manchuria, and that's for pickled, it's not pig, it's jelly. It's sort of like pig's feet under aspic. It's jellied in a very oriental way, and it's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to pass on these very secret recipes to you. But the thing is, I don't think you mustn't tell anybody else. I don't think you should talk about this recipe, because pig's feet are relatively cheap now. And I've seen things skyrocket in price from zero to quite expensive. It's only about 50 years ago, you could go into a Safeway store and be given chicken wings for nothing. Look at the price of chicken wings today. I would hate to see that happen to pig's trotters. It would be a travesty. So anyway, I'm still going to divulge the secrets, but quiet. I'm going to start off with the first recipe that I ever learned, which was actually for pig's trotters. The ingredients are very simple. What you've got here, you need some salt. This here is a salt pig. And now to do some sous vide and explain it too. Sous vide basically means that you've got, you just vacuum pack your product to the meat or whatever you wish to cook in a vacuum bag. Here we have just like this, and we poke this in here, so, and there she goes. Pretty noisy, but it's doing the job. And there we have a vacuum packed marinade. This is my sous vide, which is really a black box with a very fine water temperature control on it. And you can, I think it works in certainly half a degree centigrade processes. So you can set it anything you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our vacuum pack, put it in the sous vide. This is standard sous vide way of doing it. Just put it in the water bath, which is in here. Normally what I do for this particular thing is dish, I'd put it into the pressure cooker, and the trouble is with the pressure cooker, it destroys the texture to some extent. It breaks it down, whereas this the sous vide, it really does it leaves the texture alone. It leaves it intact. In fact, it's rather nice. So anyway, that's sous vide. Okay, so time has passed now, and I've shucked. As you can see, I have shucked all these things, the ginger, the shallots, and the garlic. I'd normally use maybe a little more garlic than this, because my honest belief is that too much garlic's not enough. But It's really, really raining outside, and I didn't want to go out to the garden and dig up some more garlic. So same with the shallots. I dug up the shallots. I think this is enough shallots and stuff like that. So ginger, yeah, never too much ginger either, because it's really good for you. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just using my trusty knife here. Just cut this up into manageable chunks. Now, my advice with the shrapnel, this is the shrapnel here. With the shrapnel, don't throw it away. If you can make up a stock that you can sieve, this is fabulous flavoring for stocks. Then the next thing I do is open up a bottle of wine, of course. This is Asian cooking wine, and liberally put it in there, along with, if I wish, some soy. But I can add the soy just a little later when I get the pig's feet into the pressure cooker. I'm going to put the lid on here. Just here we are. Close your ears, and I'm going to put this. Here we go. Now you have to believe me when I say that's a little faster than using this device. This is the pure device, but the impure device does a really good job. So let's boogie over to the stove. It's now time to trot to the pot. So we take our trotters and put them in the pot. In they go. You know, as I said to you earlier, try and get your butcher to leave them whole if you can. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. You have to take whatever they give you. All right, so the next thing I'm going to put in is our marinade, which is, here we go with that. Okay, gooey substance. Now I'm going to clean that out with water into the pot to add to it. In goes our star anise, absolutely important to this dish. Critical, crucial, if you want the authentic taste. Add some water in here, and remember not to overfill it, because pressure cookers have a certain limit that they can handle. Now, as with many recipes, there's no set time for this. You'll just have to make yourself an expert, and it'll take you, I think 54.5 attempts at this dish to really perfect it, or something like that. Okay, so it's the next day now, and last night, around about late last night, 11 o'clock, something like that, I turned off the pressure cooker and let it cool off overnight, and that had the pig's feet in for the jello. Meanwhile, for the pig's feet, for the trotters for the English bar type of trotter type meal, I put those in. I left those in the sous vide, which was on all night, to really make them easy to eat. So as I explained, I had to take the bones out of the pig's feet and separate it from the what will be our jelly. So here are the bones. As you can see, there's an awful lot of bones, because the pig's feet have a lot of bones in them. And then this is the stock in another saucepan here. Now it's time to put the ginger, the garlic, and the shallots into our mix, and with the paddle, just stir it in well. Just make sure. Now, okay, it's got a kind of it's already got a gelatinous feel to the thing now. You see the pieces are pieces of skin in here, and pieces of. Oh, just wind that through. I think I'm just going to have to boil it down just a little more, so that it sets up nicely in jelly molds. But now we're down to the last act of this show, and basically what we do is we take our jelly contents, our marinated jelly, cooked pig's feet in, and I'm just going to put them into, get this mixed up a bit, just like this, and I'm just going to put them into molds. And these, when this sets up, you'll see it'll be just jello, and this I'm going to refrigerate when I've got these full. I'm just going to fill these containers up like so. All right. Oh, look at that. There we have 3 delightful dishes. Well, same dish, but 3 just fabulous portions. You give them away as gifts or something like that, or just basically you freeze them. I've kept them in the freezer for months on end, and then you just upend them onto a plate once they've jellied up, solidified, and then you just slice them as you wish. So this is the Jello after it's been in the fridge overnight, and now I've got to release it out of this mold, just like this. I'll take away the saran wrap, like so, and to do this I need some hot water in a bowl. So let's get some hot water going. Okay, here we go. Hot water, and I just immerse that in the hot water, float it in the hot water just for a minute or so, something like that, until it releases just out of the mold onto a plate. All right, so this is it. Let's see if it'll take. Here we go. I think that might be enough. There it is. Perfect. Look at that. Wonderful. So now the only thing we got to do now is taste it. Now here's the perfect layout for Pig's Trotter jelly. And this is, of course, this is our Asian version, but even though it's Asian, we're just going to do English pub style type food with fresh baked bread, made of fresh loaf of bread, got some nice cheddar cheese and some pickled beets, pickles and stuff like that. So now, if we can see this is how this is going to cut. Here we go. This slices off so nicely. Just like that, beautiful slices of and then we just have a little platter with all this stuff on it. And that's it. So here are the Pig's Trotters in the sous vide bag, after I'd got them out of the sous vide this morning, I chilled them off just a little bit, and we're going to put those into this jar here. So that's our first thing that we're going to do is put these into the jar. So we'll open up the jar, make sure the jar is nice and clean and sterilized, and then we're just going to cut open the sous vide bag. And once again, all sous vide means is vacuum. You vacuum pack the food, put it into the sous vide at fairly low temperatures. I think I did this one at 60 degrees, something like that. So it wasn't terribly, but it was in for an awfully long time, like all night. So now there, you can see the Jello on that. This is just wonderful. I guess really I should, no, I'm doing this wrongly. I think I should cut these up so that they're bite size, and also they fit in the jar better. So here we are back to start our marinade, and I've got some cider vinegar, apple cider vinegar actually, and got a little salt, a little pickling salt. I'm going to put that on first. A little pickling salt in at the top. I even went to the garden and got a peppers just fresh out of the garden. I'm only going to put a little piece of pepper in there because, you know, our peppers have a tendency to be really, really hot. Then, of course, in goes the maple syrup, and that'll give us a very nice marinade, pickling marinade. And then we're going to top this up with vinegar. So there goes all the, and I'm going to go right to the very top, so that everything is immersed in it, and then close it up. So there we have it. It just flopped out over there. That means there's no air in there at all. And there you have it. It's very pretty, very nice, very, very